The battlefield. Chaos, steel, and screams. The gladius cuts through flesh, and blood paints the dust red. They called it Roman glory, but in that moment it felt more like hell. And then what? What happens to those who don't die heroes but come home, shattered, half alive? Rome built triumphal arches for its generals, sacrificed to its gods after victory. But its soldiers, the ones who carried the empire on their backs, returned unseen, uncelebrated. This story is about them, the forgotten, the men who made it home but never truly returned. Roman warfare was not distant or clean, it was personal. Blades met bone, screams met silence. The pila and gladius were not weapons of glory, but machines of mutilation. A spear that didn't kill outright tore a man open and left him to rot. Curved darts twisted inside the flesh, impossible to pull free without tearing the wound wider. When the enemy was barbarian, Celt or German, the pain was worse. Axes cleaved arms, maces crushed skulls, swords ripped the body apart like paper. Ancient sources like Celsus and Galen wrote of wounds no man should live through, organs spilling out, faces torn, bones shattered. The lucky ones died on the battlefield. The unlucky lived long enough to feel everything. The ground was filth and blood. There was no sterilization, no mercy. If a soldier could crawl, he was dragged back. If not, he was left to die among the corpses. But sometimes the worst wounds were invisible. Men came back whole in body, but hollow in soul. Today we call it PTSD. Back then, it had no name. Sleeplessness, rage, fear, silence. Some wandered the streets alone. Some took their own lives. Rome called it weakness. The army called it shame. To feel too much was suspicious. To suffer in silence, expected. Tacitus wrote of veterans who shunned the world, unable to celebrate or even speak of what they'd seen. They were alive, but something inside them had died on the battlefield. Rome forged soldiers like iron, but it never knew how to mend what war broke. When the wounds bled, the Medici, Roman military doctors, took over. They weren't healers, they were survivalists. Their goal wasn't to save lives, only to keep men alive long enough to fight again. In the Valetudinarium, the Roman field hospital, pain echoed louder than prayers. Cauterization with red-hot iron stopped bleeding. Amputation stopped infection, sometimes. Anesthesia? Only wine. Their screams filled the camp. Fire and iron were the only medicine Rome truly trusted. And even if a soldier survived that, the next war began against infection, fever, gangrene. Without antibiotics, wounds turned black, flesh rotted, and death came slow. No rank or valor could protect you from decay. Heroes died the same as recruits, silently, in the corner of a tent. But the few who lived faced another cruelty. Rome rewarded the strong, not the broken. If you survived your 25 years, you got land, pension, citizenship, glory. But if you lost a limb before then, you were dismissed, missio causaria, discharged for medical reasons, without pay, without land, without honor. Those men begged, hid, or worked menial jobs if they could still move. Others became mercenaries. Some fought in the arena for coins or for an ending. They traded one war for another. Rome built monuments for victory, not for suffering. The empire immortalized the generals, but forgot the soldiers who made them legends. Augustus tried to fix it, the Aerarium Militare, a military pension fund, but corruption swallowed it whole. When the empire weakened, so did its compassion. Broken veterans died waiting for what they were promised. Rome conquered 3 continents. It crushed kings, built cities, raised marble to the heavens. But beneath every triumphal arch lay bones, bones of men who bled for a glory that never looked back. This isn't a story about glory. It's a story about cost, about the men who gave everything and received silence in return. Because surviving Rome's wars was never the end, it was just the beginning of another battle against pain, abandonment, and the slow fade into oblivion. If their story moved you, subscribe so history doesn't forget them again. And remember, the true face of war isn't victory, it's what's left behind.